Boom. So NWA3D, we are a educational 3D printing company based in Northwest Arkansas, in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and it's our goal to make it easy to 3D print.
Today on the show, we have Drew Wallis with NWA3D to talk about 3D printing in the classroom and their appearance at FETC. We'll have the Google Tip of the Week, the featured artist Shane Howard Band, and more.
EduTechGuys Radio, radio.edutechguys.com.
The opinions expressed on the site and its programs are those of participants and not intended to and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of any specific educational entity, sponsor, company, state, or government agency.
Hello and welcome to EduTechGuys Radio. Good afternoon to you. I'm Dave.
Hey, and I'm Jeff.
All right, there you go. Hey, we've got a super cool show today talking with Drew Wallis from NWA3D about 3D printers.
3D printing.
That's what I'm talking about. And it's very cool that they are also going to be at FETC.
Yeah, we had a great conversation with Drew and find out that he was an educator going to FETC, and he'll tell the story about, what it meant to him and why he's taking his company back there.
Yeah.
And what in education it means to him. I mean, we're excited. We're kind of busy this week trying to get everything situated because we are going to be gone from our educational entities for a week.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Heading down to the old Orlando, home of the mouse, and other things, the Orange County Convention Center, where we'll be at. I'm excited about it.
Oh, I am too. I think it's going to be very cool. And it's funny, the first time I went to FETC, it was on the tech education side as the technology coordinator, and now I'm going back as part of EduTechGuys. So,
yeah.
Kind of similar to what Drew will talk about here in just a minute, but it's awesome to be going back to FETC just in general, but then also from that other perspective.
Yeah, now you're going to be a part of it.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
Now you're part of what's going down.
Yeah.
We're really excited. We know how big FETC is, and we know what it means to our show, and it means to our entrepreneurship, what we're doing,
sure.
Us moving forward. So it's going to be a really fun time, and it's in Orlando. Hey, geez, what a terrible place to have to go to work for a week.
Exactly.
So,
at the end of January.
As I drive in today, it's 48 degrees and rainy for the rest of the week, and I'm all worried about going down to. Now, with our luck, it'll probably be hurricane season.
Probably so.
Nah.
Hey,
either way,
be good.
the Orange County Convention Center is a beautiful place. So we'll be in it, and I think they have orange juice. I'm not sure, but
it's
Florida,
something like that.
Orange County, I'm not sure. So. Hey, check us out on the web, www.edutechguys.com. You can pretty much go to Google and type in EduTechGuys, and you'll find us. We're on all the social media. Just type in your social media address .com/EduTechGuys. You'll probably find us out there. Catch us on Twitter. You can also hit us with the hashtag ETGChat. Find out what's going on, and we're on Instagram. If you'd like to follow us there, we like to post a few pictures every once in a while of what's going to happen on the show that day or where we're going to be at, so you can find out what's going on. But yeah, it's going to be a good show today. We got a pretty good lengthy interview coming up, so I think why don't we just get right to it?
Yeah, I say we hop right in and talk to Drew Wallis, NWA3D Printing.
Hey, we're really excited today to have Drew Wallis with Northwest Arkansas 3D, NWA3D, on the show today. Now, we've had Drew on the show before when we were at HISTE. HISTE, and when we were also at Schools Without Walls.
Right.
But we're glad to have him in, zoomed in with us today. Hey, Drew, welcome, and tell us about you and your company.
Thanks a lot for having me today, guys. So my name is Drew Wallis, and I am the Director of Sales and Education at NWA3D. And it's our goal to help schools and individuals 3D print. So I was a computer science teacher for 4 years. And with that technology, I also worked a lot with teachers and helped integrate technology in their classrooms as well. I kind of had many hats as being a technology teacher. Kind of happens like that sometimes, where you're also doing a lot of PD to help other teachers out. And I realized how difficult it was sometimes to introduce new types of technology and things like that. So I was really interested in 3D printing, and a friend and I were really wanted to be able to print things for people and kind of maybe do a little like side job type thing while I was teaching. So I got a 3D printer, and I had tons of trouble trying to get it to work. So pretty much wrong with it. Was to try to get it running. I couldn't figure out exactly what the issues were and why it wasn't printing. It's like, why are you not doing exactly what I want you to do? And when we were trying to go through and figure out what was going on, I was drinking from pretty much the fire hose online to try to figure out why it's not working.
Yeah.
And it was just pretty difficult. I don't know if you've tried to search for forums online before, but sometimes it's kind of a mess to try to find your issue because you're not sure how to Google your problem or what even it is doing wrong and how to phrase it and those different types of things. So it was really difficult to try to get it going. But then when we figured it out, I realized that it was something that was pretty simple. It was something that if someone would have just showed me a little short, little 5-minute, like, well, this is probably what's going on, I would have been up and running and been able to go in 10 minutes and I would have been rocking and rolling, but I didn't know exactly what the issue was to be able to get started. So we decided instead of just printing things for people, it might be really helpful to be able to go and actually help people 3D print. So we did a lot of research and to try to find a 3D printer that would be really solid and sturdy and durable. And we found this version, which is called an A5. And we actually custom modify this by attaching the screen and adding some other little upgrades to make it really durable and sturdy and lasted in a classroom environment. So it's our version of this open source 3D printer. So we build it ourselves in Fayetteville, Arkansas. And then by being able to build it ourselves, we can also do all the warranties and all the support, which is something else that as a teacher, I know is really important, especially with introducing new technology to be able to go through a lot of different types of things. So with all of our 3D printers, they come with training, free training. So the way that we do our trainings is through video conferencing, just like I'm talking to y'all today, using Zoom is one of the main things that we use, but we can also do Google Hangout or Skype or something else if that would be better for you. But we really love Zoom because it can record the training. And you can also switch between different cameras really well, and it doesn't have much lag at all, even on really slow bandwidth connections. So that really helps out a lot of the rural schools that we help. So they don't have to have a super powerful fiber connection to be able to do a video conference training. You can do it with a phone hotspot. It uses very little amount of bandwidth, so it's great for that. And it also records it, so I can do a training, or one of our other certified teachers can do a training, where we can switch back and forth between the different cameras, and then we can switch back and forth between doing a screen share so you can see exactly how to install the program and walk you through all 4 of the steps, the main ways on how to 3D print. So we want to help people who've never seen 3D printing before, or maybe just need help with their own 3D printers to get going with printing. And we also want to try to make them as affordable as possible too. So our printers, we try to make them affordable, and we have package deals for them as well to fit your school budget. So if you would like to just get one small printer to work in your classroom, then you can. Or if you want to get printers to go for your whole school, then we have those if you want to set a makerspace or something like that. And the build area on our printers are still pretty large. They're still 6 inches by 5 inches by 4 inches. So it's still a good medium-sized printer. It just looks small because it doesn't have a giant box around it. And that's one of the it's still safe though, because it has this heat shield to protect you from trying to get into where the nozzle is. The shield is like all the way under here. So it's hard to get inside there. So we have our printers now in over 150 schools. Middle schools, junior high schools, and also some colleges and universities as well are using them. So we want to try to make it easier for teachers to be able to 3D print. So a lot of our trainings are straight with students too. So we show the students the whole process. So they're learning the whole engineering process, the whole creative process through the video training. And then because we can record it, then they can go back and watch that again for their own reference. And also having the digital training and being able to harness that technology, we can do unlimited training sessions. So if you're having trouble, or if you're trying to figure out like, oh, I really can't get my build plate leveled, or I'm really trying to have trouble because it's just not printing and I don't know what's wrong, then we can just have another video training and pop right in, and then you can show us what's wrong with your printer, and then we can show you ours, and we can walk through those steps to be able to help you anywhere.
Yeah,
cool.
You know, I've been through one of your trainings.
Yes, you are.
You know, and I have to give you credit. I can tell you're a great teacher when you're in the classroom, because
Thanks.
the way you handled, you know, we were dealing with 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade kids, and you immediately put them on task. There wasn't going to be any sitting around, you know, and that was great. It was all on deck. You're going to put this thing together, and we're going to do that. That was really great, and that was one of my favorite parts of it, which had nothing to do with 3D printing at all. It's just the way that Drew handles training. Yeah, he handles training real well.
Well, and I think, and that's what kind of, as you've been talking and you've been mentioning working with teachers and working with students. And so I'm curious, do you have teachers that say, hey, I want this printer, or actually generally probably it's, hey, I got this printer, I got this kit, whatever, you know, great, it's in my classroom. What am I supposed to do with this other than put it together and make, I don't know, heads like you have?
Yeah, totally. So one of the things that we care a lot about is we don't want our 3D printers to ever turn into like little toy factories.
Right.
But you could do that. Like, yeah, you can print. There's all kinds of awesome stuff you can do. Like, this is just like a larger version of the like demo print that we have with the printers, and they come with some small little demo prints that are cool little examples of how they print. They all are under 30 minutes, but that's not really where all of the learning and stuff is coming from. So with my teaching background and some of the other teachers that we're working with, what we want to do is help integrate the printers into your classroom. So you really wanted to get this printer because you wanted to print topographical maps for your science class, and you really wanted to go in to talk about with geography or social studies even to try to figure out those topographical maps. So you got your 3D printer, and then you are going through and you design those topographical maps, and then what? Yeah. So you got the lesson plan that you wanted to do, and then what do you do with this technology now? And that's what we want to help by partnering with teachers to, instead of just putting up lots of lesson plans, which is something that we thought about, which there's lots of companies that just post lesson plans and stuff online, but a lot of times those are incomplete, or the times it's almost like they haven't really gone through the lesson plans themselves because the time constraints, like, how did you do this in 30 minutes? Like, like those type of things. So we want to work directly with teachers and with their standards. So I'm familiar a lot with our Arkansas standards, and as well as the next generation science standards, and some international technology standards as well, but a lot of the other local standards in a lot of different districts I'm not super familiar with. So I would love to work with teachers to help integrate them in their own standards, which is something that we're working on with some teachers in Oklahoma right now, to help integrate it into their specific science standards, because standards, as y'all know, are different everywhere. So
yes, there's no standard for standards.
Yeah, exactly. They're standards.
Yes.
Yeah. That are all over the place, and then they're great, but they're all a little bit different because they're all benchmarking different things and working with different things with students. So we want to help teachers to be able to integrate them into their specific standards, so we can help them out. So if you are a math teacher and you really want to try to work with how can I use this with geometry or math manipulatives or something like that, then we want to be able to help you integrate that into your curriculum and be like, okay, well, what's an idea that you're currently using something with that could be used in a three-dimensional way, or that you could be a three-dimensional modeling. One of the awesome things about the new Arkansas science standards is that engineering foundation is a basis of all of them. Of all the science standards for all K-12. And one of the great things about it is there's a lot of 3D modeling and 3D design in there. And anywhere where it says 3D modeling, that is 3D printing. And the modeling aspect, that is where the students are really getting all of the enrichment from 3D printing, with the problem-solving skills, with the creative skills, having to work collaboratively together, like those kind of soft skills are all working in with those standards to be able to work with to get the machine actually running. So that's one of the things that we care really passionately about, is to make sure that they never sit as like a toy factory and they're just printing stuff off, because anybody can just look things up and download them. Like, you could do that. Or we also don't want them to be broken and just sit there and be broken paperweight on a desk. So we want to make sure that they're being used in the classroom. So we want to help teachers out to help them to integrate that into their curriculum, specifically for them, to custom make lesson plans for them directly, instead of just trying to search for database upon database of 3D printer plans, which we have a lot of them that we can share. But we really like to make that connection with teachers to help them get a specific project. If they're really working on something that, like maybe they're working on cell structures or something like that, then we would want to help integrate it. Well, how could you use this in your cell structure lessons? How could you 3D printing into that?
Yeah, that's cool.
What makes me comfortable about you guys, and what makes me know, not just because we're in Arkansas and we like to keep our business in Arkansas, but the thing that really shines about you guys is that you take the technology as technology and as a tool, and you spend a lot more time on, we're going to make this thing work really easy so that we can help you do the other side of it, which is integrated in your lesson, integrated for kids. That just shows that your company gets the idea that this is what we sell, this is our bread and butter, but this is our lifelong. This is what's going to make our company last a long time. I know you guys
we have a big goal,
and I know that you guys are going to be just think about how big that's going to get, bringing in, partnering teachers and partnering educators to, to help with that kind of stuff. I'm really excited for you guys. One thing interesting is, well, let's get to the big meat here. You guys are going to FETSI this year. Is this your first?
Yes. So no, it's not actually. And the way that I know about it is I went when I was a teacher. So I went in, I think it was 2010 or 2011. And I loved it. It was awesome. And to be able to see all of the different technology companies and be able to actually talk with companies was really great. And I took all kinds of notes. And when I went back, I integrated a lot of the technologies that I found into my curriculum right away. And that's one of the nice things about being a computer science teacher, is able to do that. But we went with some other teachers too. We went with a math teacher and a couple elementary teachers, and they learned some stuff right then, just like I did, that they could immediately integrate into their curriculum. And a lot of it was really inexpensive. And that was one of the great things about going, is to see how many free resources there are out there, and how many inexpensive resources there are out there, and how many different classes and other people and other educators, like meeting other educators that are doing awesome things with technology was also really awesome. So to get a lot of that networking stuff that came out of that was great. Like we went and toured a school while we were down there too, and saw some amazing things that they were doing. And that just kind of stuck with me about how, I guess, you know, the education technology nerd that I am, I just thought it was so awesome. All that. And I got to integrate that stuff in my classroom right away. So as we were starting to think about different things that we wanted to do, we met y'all at HISTE, and we went to Schools Without Walls.
Yep.
And we've gone to some other conferences that are more regional, but we haven't been to anything in like a different area, like a bigger conference. And this would be a great one to start with, because I remember how awesome it was for me to go there. Yeah. And I also remember all the different educators that were there, and how this would be a really awesome venue to show teachers across the country and administrators across the country and technologists across the country of what we could offer their school if they're interested in 3D printing. And if they would like to take off with 3D printing or find out more about it, either whether it be a makerspace, or whether it be a STEM center, or whether it be a library, whether it be in an elementary classroom, or for a whole school, or just a math class or a science class, or whatever they would want to do, maybe even an after school program with robotics or something like that they want to work with, then they know that we're a resource out there that might be able to help them.
That's cool, man.
That's awesome.
So what's your booth number? Do you guys know?
160? Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like when you walk in the doors, we're like at the end of, and I don't know if there's a wall between us and the door. That's one thing we're not really quite sure about, but we're in that first aisle when you first walk in, and we're kind of in the corner, like on the end of that aisle.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you there.
We're talking about 3D printing. It'd be fantastic. We'd love to talk to you about how if you're using 3D printing too. We want to help you out, and I would love to know how you are using 3D printing as well. So if you already have a printer, number one, does it work? And number two, we maybe help you get it working, because we might be able to help you out with some simple fixes and stuff to help you get going. One of the things that we're really passionate about is, if that technology is already in there, we might be able to help you with a couple simple fixes that we could get back with you before a lot of the other like larger tech support companies can get back with you. And we've dealt with a lot of different 3D printers. And we've researched a lot of different types too. And we're also partnered with the EAST Initiative, which is fantastic. They're environmental and spatial technology. And we work with them, and they have a lot of printers as well that aren't purchased through us, but we help their students to get them going, because a lot of them, it might be something small, like the build plate needs to be level, or it needs to be unclogged, or maybe there's a certain setting that you need to do that we might be able to help you out with your specific printer. So we've come in contact with dozens and dozens of different types of printers. So we'd love to talk to you about how you're using 3D printing, or how maybe you could use our 3D printing in your classroom.
Cool. So tell us about your special for January.
So yeah, we are working through, we just made our new 2017 sales deals that are going out, and we cut down on our savings even more than before. So we have 3 main packages. We have one that's a single printer. That's our starter pack. And that'll help for a lot of budget-conscious schools that just maybe want to dip into 3D printing to see a little bit about it. And then we have our second deal is 3 3D printers, and that one is called our Steam Pack. So you can integrate that like for a classroom, because one of the big things about 3D printing is the time that it takes to print. So if you have 150 students and they all have an hour print, you're looking at obviously 150 hours of print time. But if you have 3 printers, now you're only looking at 50 hours of print time, because you cut way down on that. So that's another reason why we wanted to make these affordable enough to be able to integrate into a classroom environment. So you can get 3 printers, or even our big deal, 6 printers, for the price of 1 major printer from one of the major corporations. So you can get 6 of these, as well as enough filament to last you for a school year, maybe 2 school years.
A long time. Tell them how many rolls. How many rolls of filament is it?
I think our new deal, I think, has I want to say
32?
a 30 rolls. 30? I want to say 30.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, we're working with it on the top right now. Here, let me look it up real quick so I can get you like the exact number off the top. But yeah, we wanted to make sure. Yeah, it's a bunch. We wanted to make sure that
your filament's made here in Arkansas too, isn't it?
it is. Yeah, it's made by an awesome company called Push Plastic.
Push Plastic.
They have over 20 years of plastic experience. They're based in Springdale, Arkansas, and they're amazing filament. They put some special ingredients in their biodegradable PLA too, which is what we love to use. That makes it really flexible and bendable and last a long time too. So yeah, we have it's 36 colors of filament in our maker. Yeah.
And like every color, you can choose one of every color. And
Yeah, you can get one of every color. Yeah, absolutely. And also, like, one roll of filament has almost 4 football fields of filament on it. And you're maybe going to use like a couple meters or a couple yards to print something small. So it'll last a really long time too. And then that Makerspace pack also comes with 3D printer pens as well, which are great for creative projects and for plastic welding and stuff. And also a modified tool. And it works kind of like a soldering iron a little bit. And it's basically like a hot knife that you can modify prints with and weld and kind of melt prints together and stuff like that. Cool. And you can use it for other things, even outside of 3D printing as well. It has some specially designed tips for 3D printing that you can use with it. And then also all of those come with our custom 3D printing toolkit. So with a lot of the experience and stuff that we've had in classrooms, we've kind of figured out the things that classrooms need the most if you want to start with 3D printing. So we include that toolkit free with all of our packs. And that's about everything that you would need to get started with printing. So that comes with some needle nose pliers, that comes with a scraper to be able to scrape stuff off, that comes with tweezers as well to be able to pull filament out from different places. It comes with a digital caliper for exact measurements. So you can measure something to be an exact size. Like if you wanted to measure something that would fit on like the base of a chair, you could measure that to be exactly 2.85 millimeters, and then you could design it to be 2.85 millimeters, and then print it to be 2.85 millimeters, and it would be that exact size.
Yeah.
And also a nozzle cleaner to help out with clogs, and then an extra SD card and an adapter. So everything the classroom would need to like get started. So instead of just getting a 3D printer and then getting some instructions that may or may not be poorly translated and trying to figure out exactly like, what is this? Like, how do I do? What is this thing that I'm trying to figure out? We want to walk you through every step of the way and help you out with all of our custom documentation too that comes with all of our printers that we've designed ourselves, and as well as our video training to help give you all the tools that you need to 3D print in your classroom.
So there it is.
Awesome.
So 6 printers, the kit, all your software, everything your pack, the scrapers, the tools, the soldering iron, everything you need, plus your training, your video training, your support. And how much is that top pack?
$3,600. Yeah.
That is insane.
I know, it's crazy. So you save over $1,000 by getting that. So that's one of the things that we wanted to do. So we throw in a bunch of that stuff for free. And also we give you 10% off the printers and 10% off of our filament of our regular price. And then we throw in a third of that filament is free filament that we put in there, and the 3D printer pens are free, and the tool is free. We want to try to make it as affordable as possible to say, hey, if you are going to take the chance with us and spend your classroom budget with us, it's not going to go to waste at all. And that's one of the things that we wanted to make sure that we could get it as low as possible. And that training and support comes with no matter what printer that you get from us. So if your school can only afford that starter pack, which is $630 for a printer, 3 rolls of filament, and a toolkit. And that comes with all the same level of training and support that if you bought 6 maker packs with us and you went all out and your whole district got them, that would be the same level of support no matter who you are. So we want to make sure that we want to fit what's best for your classroom, and no matter what you do, you're going to get our support.
That's awesome.
Drew, we're super impressed, very impressed with your company, very impressed with your educational mindfulness. That's to us one of the biggest parts of finding a company like yours that really gets the whole idea of education.
So, really passionate about education. So we want to help try to expand project-based learning and that whole paradigm of education as much as possible, and give teachers the tools that they need to succeed, so their students can achieve whatever they want. The sky's the limit.
Yeah, right.
So here's the fun part of the interview. We'll wrap this thing up. It's the 45-second elevator pitch. You've got 45 seconds give us NWA 3D.
All right, so here we go. Boom. So NWA 3D, we are a educational 3D printing company based in Northwest Arkansas, in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and it's our goal to make it easy to 3D print. So we build our printers ourselves right here in Arkansas. Our filament is made either in Wisconsin with Protopasta filament, or right here in Arkansas with our push plastic filament. So all of our printers also come with training and support. So video conference training is free no matter what printer that you get from us. And also we can offer a 1-year parts and service warranty, no questions asked with our version of the NWA 3D A5. If it falls off the table and breaks in half, we'll send you another one. No questions asked. We want to make sure that these are durable and sturdy in a classroom environment. And another thing that we are super excited about is we just opened our brand new shop in Fayetteville too. So if you're around Northwest Arkansas or in our surrounding region, come by and see us. We've got a bunch of exciting stuff on the way to be set up and built together. So we're really pumped about that in the future and helping build the technology community, not only in our region, but across the country.
Awesome. Drew, it's been a pleasure, and hey, we'll see you at FETSI. So we'll sit down and do this again during the week if you get a chance. Hey,
yeah, that'd be fantastic. Thanks a lot for having me, guys. I love what you guys are doing. I think it's amazing that you guys are talking about different technology companies and different teachers to kind of expose the kind of underpinnings of the technology in education. I think that's really great. So thanks a lot for having me on. And I appreciate it. Look forward to the next time.
We'll see you soon.
Sounds good.
You're listening to EduTech Guys. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this.
Bring the EduTech Guys live to your school or event. That's right. Contact at edutechguys.com or go to www.edutechguys.com and fill out the form. We'll be happy to provide professional development to your teachers. We'll provide in-class training to your students, or we can provide live coverage of your conference or event. Reach out to us, edutechguys.com. All right, thank you very much to Drew Wallis for visiting with us. And right now, we've got music from the featured artist of the week. This is the Shane Howard Band, Rattlesnake Road.
Picked up my girl from a football game on the square in my town. Was a place to be. Radio blaring, shook me all night long, singing along and rocking this song on Rattlesnake Road. Friday night football, moving Strawberry Hill, feeling young and crazy out on the Rattlesnake Road. Fire was a-blazing, drink what you have. Mad Dog 2020 made us have some fun. Picking the guitar, play a country song. The bottle let me down on Rattlesnake Road. Friday night football, blue Strawberry Hill, feeling young and crazy out on the Rattlesnake Road. Everybody scream, everybody scream, hell yeah. Partying and drinking, you can't go wrong. flashing lights and sirens have found us now. It's time to get the hell of Rattlesnake Road. Friday night football, Blue Strawberry Hill. Feeling young and crazy out on the Rattlesnake Road. Friday night football, Blue Strawberry Hill. Feeling young and crazy out on the Rattlesnake Road. Out on the Rattlesnake
Hey, that was the Shane Howard Band with Rattlesnake Road.
Woohoo!
Yeah, we always like Shane Howard. Great band. He's one of Kevin Honeycutt's compadres.
Yes.
And they do stuff together. So really like to have him. Always like to feature him on the show. Hey, you know what time it is? It's
The Google tip of the week.
you're getting better at that.
I'm working. I've been practicing.
I'm going to get you on the road, like right in the middle of it.
yeah, so I can get run over.
Hey, this week, we have a nice little Google tip of the week, and this is for all the super admins out there. Great add-on from Google and Chrome. And I want to give a shout out to the good doc for this. He's the one that found this, and we have actually incorporated it into our network.
Awesome.
So what it is, it's a Chromebook inventory. Now, what's neat about this is it's a Chromebook inventory that enables the download and update of the metadata and the organizational units of the enrolled Chromebook devices you have directly from a Google Sheet. So this is really cool because it is only for super admins, and they can use it at the admin console level. And what's cool is it lets you both export and update your Chromebook inventory via a Google Sheet. Now, we would say, so what does that give me? Well, pretty much everything. It gives you the organizational unit, the name, the serial number, the model, the OS, who has logged into it. It gives you a full list of all the people that have logged into it, times and dates that it was turned on, everything you might need to sort out and really keep up with what's going on your network with your Chromebooks. So, you can't beat it. Because schools always need to keep accurate records of device inventory, and including like who the users are that might be using them, the device location, notes regarding things like live device, the actual condition of the device. This device makes that reporting really easy, so you know where your stuff is. So that's it. We'll throw it out on the good old Twitter, and you can find out about it. It is inside the Google add-ons. It's a Google Sheet add-on called the Chromebook inventory.
Yeah, I think it's very cool because you and I had talked a little bit offline about it. Just in a couple of the examples that we talked about, if one of your users says, man, this Chromebook is just acting funky, I don't know what's going on, and then you pull up in the report and, like you had said before, it was on for a minute. So therefore, it wasn't able to update because you basically turned it on and had it on for a minute and shut it back down again. Turn it on. Yeah. Let's get it updated. Let's go from there. And then I like the other example that we talked about. A teacher comes in and says, man, or another student comes in and says, man, there's keys missing off of this. Well, you can take this report and you can see the students
that
have used that based on their email addresses and say, okay, well, it's one of these 8 students because that's who had it.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Or
stuff.
at least get them in the same room and talk about what happened, because it could have been one of their buddies. Well, Joe popped the key off because I wouldn't do this or what, But I think it's great. It's very, very cool tool.
Yeah, what's really cool is like all that time you take at the front end. A lot of people barcode scan in their stuff, try to get their inventory updated when they get a bulk load of Chromebooks in. No need now. You just export it out and pull it into your system. Add your asset tags to it. You've got everything right there inside your inventory sheet. So
that is awesome. Cool. Very cool.
Hey, listen, the time flies when you're having fun.
It does, man.
So,
and it's really going to fly between now and next week when we are at FETSI.
Hey, be sure to catch us on the social media, definitely Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. As we travel to Orlando, watch for our tweets. We'll be visiting a lot of fun places along the way.
Yeah,
and,
that's going to be cool.
David and I will be at some landmarks on the road to Holiday Road. We're going to be vacationing, traveling down to Orlando.
Yeah.
So keep up with us on the social media. If you'd like to find out what's going on at FETSI during the week, just tune in anytime, radio.edutechguys.com. You can go out to your Android store, your iOS store, and you can download Mixler and look up EduTech Guys on Mixler. That is also a direct live feed from our show.
Yeah. And those of you that enjoy listening to the podcasts on Google Play and iTunes, we will take bits and pieces of our live coverage, and we will have those available on the line.
On the line. Awesome. Hey, listen, I'm Jeff.
I'm Dave.
We'll see you in FETSI.
Woohoo!
You've been listening to EduTech Guys Radio, radio.edutechguys.com.
The opinions expressed on the site and its programs are those of participants and not intended to and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of any specific educational entity, sponsor, company, state, or government agency.